One of the most fascinating and puzzling consequences of the recent pallet density and dead zone update is that some tiles and loops have become even stronger than what was likely intended. In a nutshell, the increased strength is mostly due to filler pallets being placed in a close proximity to other loops. Take this new filler pallet on Rotten Fields for example. This pallet can easily loop in a shack, and in this case the shack window. This filler pallet being so close to shack increases the overall strength of both tiles, thus being contrary to the entire point of the filler pallet changes in the first place. A filler pallet connecting this well to shack on Rotten Fields of all maps is crazy in itself, but this only scratches the surface of the loop changes that have occurred. Believe it or not, with the 9.2 patch, Swamp now has the chance to spawn a 2016 version of a jungle gym. Yes, you heard that right, a 2016 jungle gym. 2 pallets and 2 windows. I was stunned when I first saw this, but in reality this isn't that surprising, as I anticipated at least a few unexpected changes alongside the pallet update, as usually when any changes are made to maps, there's some unaccounted for side effects. But how is this possible exactly? Well, here's my best explanation in theory as to why. All the way back in 2016, jungle gyms used to always spawn with 2 windows and 2 pallets. These maze tiles became infamous for their overall strength, and as a result they were nerfed within the next year or so. First by removing one of the pallets, and then a separate update removing one of the windows, ultimately leaving us with the current day version of a jungle gym, 1 pallet and 1 window. However, there's a slight complication with this, as the swamp realm has been a unique case in the jungle gym nerfs. Since the swamp was created, there's a chance for a jungle gym tile to spawn with the pier on the Pale Rose and Grim Pantry maps, and this specific jungle gym spawn has always spawned with 1 pallet and 2 windows. So this pier jungle gym tile has never been fully nerfed for some reason. Perhaps the devs forgot about it? I'm not entirely sure. So what's happened now exactly? The 9.2 patch has now allowed for the swamp jungle gym tile to occasionally spawn with both 2 windows and 2 pallets, thus resulting in a 2016 version of a jungle gym. Here's the other interesting element that I noticed. The chance for a 2016 jungle gym to spawn has a much higher likelihood on Pale Rose when compared to Grim Pantry, at least from the data I've gathered. For reference, out of 50 custom matches, Pale Rose spawned a 2016 jungle gym 16 times out of the 50, while Grim Pantry only spawned a 2016 jungle gym once. Now from what I recall, I don't believe I've ever seen 2 pallets spawn with this jungle gym before the 9.2 patch, but with the pallet density changes, I can only conclude that this all has something to do with how Swamp's pallet spawn mechanics work, especially on Pale Rose. Swamp is also one of the last remaining realms that is yet to receive a major update, so it is possible the lack of overhaul has made this particular spawn possible. However, I believe this spawn being possible is just remnants of something that was already a bit of an oversight, as the Swamp Pier jungle gym tile was never fully nerfed in the first place. In other words, this specific jungle gym tile has probably always had the ability to spawn a second pallet if the RNG fit perfectly with the way the pallets spawn, and more importantly, if the maximum number of pallets that could spawn was raised, which the pallet density update essentially did by adding a bunch of filler pallets everywhere on the map. Thus, the maps now leave open the chance for a second pallet to spawn on this tile if the jungle gym tile itself spawns. Now, the obvious problem is that Swamp now has the chance to spawn a fairly safe tile for survivors, which is counterintuitive to the update. There's certainly no question that this tile spawn is out of place in modern DBD, but I have to admit, the evil survivor main part of me is ecstatic to have this type of tile back, even if it's only for another patch or 2, simply from the nostalgia alone. Will this ever get patched though? I can't see into the future, but I have to imagine some adjustments to the palette changes are inevitable, as the impact of this update has been mixed at best. For the time being though, if you're playing Survivor and this tile spawns, I would certainly use this as a safe place to run to, but if you're playing Killer, you should probably avoid this tile as much as possible. That's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.